Act 1, Scene 1. Rome, a street. Enter Flavius Marullus and certain citizens. Flavius. Hence, home, you idle creatures. Get you home. Is this a holiday? What, know you not? Being mechanical, you ought not walk upon a labouring day without the sign of your profession. Speak, what trade art thou? So the scene opens up and we see Flavius, Marullus and a few Roman citizens. Now, Flavius and Marullus are tribunes or government officials, you can call them, you can treat them as government officials. And they are those bunch of people who are not very happy with Caesar's growing power. So when they are seeing that a lot of people have gathered around and they are all in a celebratory mood because Caesar has come back triumphant after defeating the sons of Pompey in a civil war, they all want to celebrate Caesar. Flavius and Marullus are a little irritated. They don't like that. So he goes and asks one of the citizens, "You idle creatures, get you home. Like, get out from here, go home. Is this a holiday? What are you celebrating for? Is this a holiday? Isn't it a normal working day? Being mechanical, you ought not walk upon a laboring day without the sign of your profession." He says, since this is not a holiday, it is a working day, where is the sign of your profession? What do you do? What is your trade? How do I know what is your work? Why are you walking around without the sign of your profession? Speak, what trade art thou? What's your trade? The first citizen says, "Why, sir, a carpenter." Then Marullus, who is with Flavius, "Where is thy leather apron and thy rule?" He says, "If you're a carpenter, where is your ruler? Where is your apron, the dress that you wear? And where is the ruler?" Carpenters carry these tools, right? They need to take measurements and everything. "Where is your ruler? What is thou with thy best apparel on? What are you doing here, wearing your best clothes on? You, sir, what trade art thou?" Then he turns to another person and says, "Now you, what are you doing? What trade are you?" The second citizen, "Truly, sir, in respect of a fine workman, I am, as he would say, a cobbler." So he says that I'm a very skilled workman. I'm a cobbler. "But what trade art thou?" So he's like questioning him. He's a little irritated. "What is your occupation? What do you do for a living?" "A trade, sir, that I hope I may use with a safe conscience." So he says that I do something with a safe conscience. It's something that I practice with a clean heart. "Which is indeed, sir, a mender of bad souls." Now he says, "I mend bad soul." So the word soul is used as a pun here. He has punned with the word soul because SOLES, that soul is something which is there, which is what a cobbler works with, right? The sole of your shoes. But the soul can also be pronounced as SOUL, which is your soul, your mind. So he says, I'm a mender of souls. Means I mend the shoe soles, but a person who wants to understand can also interpret it as someone who mends the souls of people. That's the pun here. Marullus, "What trade, thou knave, thou naughty knave, what trade?" So he's a little angry and he demands to know that what trade art thou? Just knave is a way of saying, you rogue, you insolent fellow, what trade are you? What do you do for a living? The second citizen, "Nay, I beseech you, sir, be not out with me yet. If you be out, sir, I can mend you." So the second citizen, who's actually the cobbler, he says that, he tells Marullus, "So don't be angry with me." Again, you puns with the word out. So do not be out with me yet. Like, don't be angry with me, but if you are, then I can mend you. Now the word mend again is used as a pun. So he tries to say that just like I mend shoes for a living, I can even mend you. Means I can also improve your behavior, your mannerisms. That's what he tends to mean here. "What meanest thou by that? Mend me, thou saucy fellow?" So Marullus is obviously irked. He's angry. He says, "What do you mean by you will mend me, you rude fellow?" "Why, sir, cobble you." So cobble, literal terms, means to, when you put together some, you mend the road, you put gravel, sand and all that and you cover the road. That's also called cobbling. So he says, I can make it all right. I can mend, I can cobble you. I can make things all right. Or in literal terms, I'm a cobbler, so I can cobble. "Thou art a cobbler, art thou?" Flavius says. Second citizen, "Truly, sir, all that I live by is with the awl." Awl is like a tool which is used to make holes in a leather, and that's the most critical tool for a Cobbler. He says, yes, I meddle with no tradesman's matters, nor woman's matters, but withal I am indeed, sir, a surgeon to old shoes. So he says, I keep myself to myself. I don't meddle with anyone else's business. I do not indulge in anything to do with anyone else or any women. I lead a very straightforward life, and I am a surgeon to old shoes. Surgeon to old shoes means like a surgeon stitches up parts of a body which needs repair, or where you have a problem, the surgeon takes care of you, does an operation on the human body. Similarly, the cobbler says, I am a surgeon to old shoes. He stitches up old shoes which are worn out and makes them fit for wear again. A surgeon to old shoes, when they are in great danger, I recover them. So it's very, very beautifully said. Like how a surgeon recovers a person from his or her ailment, the cobbler says, I recover the shoes when they are really worn out. As proper men as ever trod upon neat's leather have gone upon my handiwork. So he says that, if there is anybody who would have gone upon with some good shoes, you will see that, they are my handiwork. They have been done by me. Flavius. But wherefore are not in thy shop today? Why dost thou lead these men about in the streets? He says, oh, okay, all that is fine, but why are you not in your shop? Why are you leading these men here in these streets? Truly, sir, to wear out their shoes. So he's very smart, okay. This play also tries to bring out that the common people can also use humor and wit and use that to, very subtly respond back to these tribunes. They are giving it back, but very subtly and very nicely they are giving it back to Flavius and Marullus, very humorously with all the puns and the wits. So when Flavius says, why are you not in your shop? You are a cobbler, right? So you should be working in your shop. You should be repairing old shoes. Why are you not doing that? So he says, truly, sir. So he's saying, what are you doing in the streets? To wear out their shoes to get myself into more work. So he says, oh, we are on the streets, sir, because we feel that, walking around, people will wear out their shoes and then we will have more business. We can repair more shoes. So he's evading the serious questioning and he's cleverly kind of twisting it out and giving a beautiful answer. Indeed, sir, we make holiday to see Caesar and to rejoice in his triumph. And he says, jokes aside, sir, but today we have gathered here because we want to see Caesar and we want to celebrate his victory. That is why we have all gathered here. So when the cobbler says that, jokes apart, we are all gathered here to celebrate Caesar's victory, Marullus gets really angry and he says, wherefore rejoice? What conquest brings he home? What tributaries follow him home to grace in captive bonds his chariot wheels? So he says, celebrate for what? Which battle has Caesar won? What is the biggest achievement that he has done that you're all celebrating? Which captive princes is he bringing back to Rome, from which, you can probably earn ransom money and fill up your coffers? What achievement is it? Because actually what Caesar has won was a civil war against Pompey's sons. And there was a time when Caesar and Pompey and Caracalla were the first triumvirate who were ruling Rome together. So this was necessarily not a great achievement. It was an internal conflict. You blocks, you stones, you worse than senseless things, oh you hard hearts, you cruel men of Rome, know you not Pompey? So Marullus asks, what are you people? Are you stones? Don't you have feelings? Don't you have the sense of loyalty, gratitude? Are you so hard-hearted? Didn't you know Pompey? I mean, wasn't it you the same people who also rejoiced for him, celebrated him? Many a time and oft have you climbed up to walls and battlements, to towers and windows, to chimney tops, your infants in your arms, and there have sat the livelong day with patient expectation to see great Pompey pass the streets of Rome. So he said, it's you people only, right? You were the same bunch of mass, the Roman mass, who used to climb on battlements, big towers and chimney tops. Even if you had small infants, you would do any kind of sacrifice, wait patiently hours together to just get one glimpse of Pompey. He was your hero. And when you saw his chariot but appear, have you not made an universal shout that Tiber trembled underneath her banks to hear the replication of your sounds made in her concave shores? And do you now put on your best attire? And do you now call out a holiday? And do you now strew flowers in his way that comes in triumph over Pompey's blood? Be gone. So he says that you all would wait for hours together to get a glimpse of Pompey, and when you saw his chariot just appearing, when you would get a glimpse of his chariot, you all shouted. You all, made that joyful shout, and so much so that, there would be an echo in the hollow banks of the river Tiber. You were the same people who were so much ecstatic cheering Pompey, and now you are cheering Caesar because he has defeated Pompey. You are putting on your best attire, you are coming up all dressed up, you have you've given yourself a holiday, and you are cheering for that, say, a person who is coming or who has defeated Pompey, the same Pompey who you once cheered. It is showing the fickle-mindedness of the mob, right? The people who were once cheering for Pompey when he was powerful, he was all powerful and he was their hero. Then Caesar defeated Pompey, Caesar became their hero. This is how the Roman populace's fickleness is shown by Shakespeare here. Run to your houses, fall upon your knees, pray to the gods to intermit the plague that needs must light on this ingratitude. So he says that, get lost. Go home and, you might as well pray to God to at least delay the plague, because for the kind of, thanklessness that you're showing, for the kind of disloyalty that you're showing, there is going to be definitely a plague that is going to be coming upon this land. Maybe you should go and pray to God to delay that plague. Ask for forgiveness to God for this kind of behavior that you have put in. So maybe this is a time for atonement. Go back home and repent and atone for the kind of senseless, fickle-mindedness that you are exhibiting. Flavius, go, good countrymen, and for this fault assemble all the poor men of your sort, draw them to Tiber banks and weep your tears into the channel, till the lowest stream do kiss the most exalted shores of all. And then Flavius tells, what, instead of celebrating here and walking here waiting for Caesar, maybe you should get all these people and you should go to the banks of Tiber and weep, for the fault that you have done, for this thankless attitude that you have shown here. You should probably atone, you should probably cry, realize your mistake and weep, so much so that, the tears should actually rise the banks of the river Tiber. This is an exaggeration figure of speech. Obviously, your tears will not be so much that it can raise the water level in Tiber, but it is just to say that that's the level of sin that you have committed, and that's the kind of atonement that you're supposed to do. The citizens exit. Then Flavius tells Marullus, see whether their basest metal be not moved, they vanish tongue-tied in their guiltiness. So he says that, probably their humble spirits have got affected by what we spoke just now. See, they're all walking speechless. Maybe it is the guilt that is just making them walk away silently. Go you down that way towards the Capitol. This way will I disrobe the images. Then he tells Marullus that you go towards the Capitol. Here I will disrobe all the images, all the festivities that has been done for Caesar. I will kind of remove all those lavish decorations and everything. And he tells him, you also do the same if you find them decked with ceremonies. Marullus, may we do so? It's the feast of Lupercal. So Marullus says, but is it okay to do it? Because it's not just Caesar who is coming victorious. And the other thing is, it is also the feast of Lupercal, and Lupercal's feast is done in honor of this god Lupercus, who happens to take care of their agricultural lands, farms, herds, sheep. He is the protector. So he's saying that maybe we should not antagonize the gods here. So is it okay to do? Flavius, it's no matter. Let no images be hung with Caesar's trophies. He's saying, doesn't matter. I don't want to see any images with Caesar's trophies. I'll about and drive away the vulgar from the streets. I will go and make sure that all the citizens are out of the streets. There is no one out there celebrating. So do you too. And you also do the same, where you perceive them thick. And if you see places where they have gathered and you feel that they're all gathered together to celebrate Caesar, just disperse them. Do the same thing. These growing feathers plucked from Caesar's wing will make him fly an ordinary pitch. So he says that, we have to make sure that we do this, because Caesar should not feel that the entire Roman population is with him. These growing feathers, he should not have that, it should not get into his head that he is too successful. The growing feathers plucked from Caesar's wings. So Caesar is compared to a bird whose feathers will be plucked so that it cannot fly high. So he says we should make sure that we pluck his feathers, which will make him fly an ordinary pitch, so that he is grounded. He doesn't fly too high and the success doesn't get into his head, and he doesn't treat us all like pieces of dirt. Who else would soar above the view of men and keep us all in servile fearfulness? And he says, if we don't clip his wings right now, he's going to fly too high, that he will keep us in servile fearfulness. He will become tyrannical. He will start making us live in his shadow of terror, which none of us want. So we have to make sure that we clip his wings right now. And with that, we wrap up the Act 1, Scene 1 literal explanation. I will also be posting a critical summary of Act 1, Scene 1. Please make sure you watch that video as well. I hope you really liked this explanations given. Please do like, share and subscribe, and share your comments. Your comments will really help me to improve my content quality. Thank you for watching.